Everybody, it's Lyra from Lyra Gaming, bringing you a Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous build for Camellia. This is the Dark Crusader build. It is a combination of Spirit Hunter, Crusader, and Slayer. It's meant to kind of play into her personality. And without spoiling anything story-wise, I just want to say she's probably not the type of Crusader you bring home to mom. Probably more on the line of what Crusaders probably were in reality and how history would probably want us to forget how they acted. So this is going to be an effective build, but I do want to put a disclaimer. All my companion builds kind of feed into what these characters are, what are their natural strengths and weaknesses, and how I feel they could kind of creatively play. So, of course, there's going to be people that could go into comments and provide kind of min-maxed tips. And I actually recommend that you do. So if you have some great ideas of how else this could be kind of built out, please feel free to leave comments below. But if you're new, you kind of want an effective way of how to play Camellia, she's going to be able to fill a role of some DPS, be rather tanky, be the group healer, and also be really good at stealth and also taking care of all your traps. If that's what you're looking for, well, this is the companion build for you. Now, within this build, we're going to cover everything from level 1 to 20 progression, Mythic level 1 to 10. We're going to level up the companion mount she's going to get. I'm also going to go over some example items and equipment that could work for her, as well as some recommendations of what kind of spells you may want to focus on as you level up throughout this character. All right, guys. So again, as with all my builds, you're going to find extensive timestamps below. Also, at the beginning of each section, you're going to find a little spreadsheet that's going to be on screen. So if you just want to see where all the levels go, that's there for you. And if you want to watch the whole video and support the channel, awesome. Check it out. View this however you see fit. That being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at the Dark Crusader companion build for Camellia. Alright guys, as we begin looking at the leveling up for Camellia, I'm going to go ahead and pop up on screen right now the entire spreadsheet for level 1 to 20. So if you just want to reference this right now, or reference it in the future when you kind of come back to this as you level up, if you want to follow this build guide, this is the place to kind of take a look. But if you want to see more, we will be looking at every single level one by one, and I'm going to be providing you feedback. So make sure to check that out. All right, let's go ahead and start with a comment on level 1. So when you respec, she drops down to basically level 1 being pre-selected. So she has to be a Spirit Hunter, Shaman, and she's going to automatically start with Skill Focus Trickery and Weapon Finesse. So those are things you cannot change. Now for level 2, we are going to take another level of Spirit Hunter, mainly because there is a hex that we do want to pick up before we swap over. Now, when it comes to skills, she's going to automatically come with Trickery and Stealth. And even though Stealth currently is not a class skill for her, don't worry, it will be soon. So we are going to pump an extra point in Trickery and Stealth. This is what she's going to specialize in. And for the rest of her build out, all the way to level 20, we are going to be putting in points into these stats. As soon as we pick up a level in Slayer on level 3, this will become a class skill. So do not worry, she's going to be getting all the buffs to this. So as we move on, I'm not going to be generally showing this page just to save you time. So just note every time you level up, make sure you put 1 point in Trickery and 1 point in Stealth. Now, in case you're wondering why we picked these two skills in particular, it's because on your team, you want exactly one person that is really good at Trickery and at least one person that is good at Stealth. And if it's the same person, that's going to save you a slot in your group. Trickery is very important because it's going to help you basically disarm traps, open chests to get lots of extra loot, and potentially some doors that are locked that can be opened with Trickery. And Stealth is also very important. While most people don't run around stealth, even though that is a feature. What this is very important is that you're going to avoid random encounters, both on the overworld when you're traveling, but also when you go camping. And the last thing you want is your party to be all beat up. You're trying to camp, and all of a sudden you get jumped before you can rest. So she's going to fill that role for you really nicely. Now, for her Hex, we're going to pick up Ice Plant. It's going to give you +2 natural armor bonus to AC. And what's nice about this is it's going to stack with your other forms of natural armor. So it's a nice little buff for taking a 2nd level in Shaman. Now for level 3, we're actually going to take a level in Slayer. And we're just going to do a basic Slayer. This has got a nice BAB progression. The first reason we take this is because we do want Stealth to be a class skill. And also Study Target is quite nice. It's going to give you a bonus to attack and damage. It's something that you can spam. While it's only a +1 bonus, it is something that you can continuously apply. So it is not a bad thing to have here. So, and it's going to fit her theme quite well. Now for your feat at level 3, we're actually going to take Combat Casting because you are going to be kind of a frontline healer and caster. So this is going to help make sure that you make your concentration checks. And at level 4, we're going to swap over to Cleric, and we're going to very particularly take Crusader, because we're going to want to go for a very kind of combat-heavy Cleric. So this is going to be good for her. It's also going to play into her naturally higher Wisdom score. So it's one of the viable transitions away from the Shaman. Now, stat-wise, we are going to put 1 point in Charisma. This is going to give us an extra charge of your channel positive energy. So 1 point in here is okay. And then later on, we're going to start stacking Wisdom, because that's going to be really important. But just note that we are going to put 1 point of Charisma here. And for channel energy type, we are going to pick channel positive energy. And for the domain, we're going to pick probably the most popular domain. That's going to be animal domain. And the main reason for this is we're going to get to have an animal companion at 4th level. And for our Crusader bonus feat, we're going to go ahead and take shield focus, up our AC. Again, we're going to want to make sure we stay tanky enough that we're not too squishy as a frontline healer. All right, level 5, we're going to take our 2nd level of Crusader. And for our feat level 5, we're going to pick Selective Channel, obviously for your positive energy. So that way it's only impacting your allies in a positive way and doesn't, for example, heal your enemies. At level 6, we're going to get another level into Crusader. At level 7, we're going to get a 4th level in Crusader. And at this level for the feat, we're going to pick Boon Companion. So now our companion is going to be able to keep up with us level-wise. And for our companion, I highly recommend the Black Smilodon. You could pick the normal Smilodon if you want as well. But I feel like the Black Smilodon will perfectly fit her and her personality. If you're curious why this one is chosen over any of the other ones, this is pretty much the kind of best combination of being tanky while also doing a lot of DPS. Has 5 total natural attacks. Nobody else competes with that. So it's a really, really nice companion. At 8th level, we go ahead and pick up another level of Crusader. And when it comes to stats, we're going to start pumping Wisdom. And for the Crusader bonus feat, we're going to go ahead and pick up Weapon Focus and Rapier. We're going to stick with what she's known for. At 9th level, we're going to get another level of Crusader. And for the feat, we're going to get Fencing Grace. And basically, this is going to let us apply our dexterity to weapon damage instead of strength. And obviously we're going to select the Rapier. At level 10, we're going to go ahead and get another level of Crusader. At level 11, we have another level in Crusader. And for the feat at level 11, we're going to go ahead and pick up Spell Focus Conjuration. This is going to be basically a prerequisite so we can buff up some of the summons that we're going to be bringing out situationally. And again, it's going to really play into her little kind of a Dark Crusader theme as well. At level 12, we're picking up another level of Crusader, and we're getting another point into Wisdom. Level 13, and yet another level of Crusader. And level 13, we're going to go ahead and pick up Augmented Summoning. This is going to buff up our summons. And again, we're going to start by animating the dead. And then later on, we're going to have more powerful undead that we're going to summon to our side. So this will be nice and helpful. And for the Crusader bonus feat, we're going to go ahead and pick up Greater Weapon Focus Rapier. At level 14, we're picking up another level of Crusader. Level 15, and we get yet another level of Crusader. All right, at the level 15 feat, we're going to go ahead and pick up Outflank. So quite a few your other companions will hopefully have this. Your mount, your pet is going to have it as well, so you can just work this off of each other. And it's just an extra bonus to attack. At level 16, we're going to get another level of Crusader. And we continue pumping up our Wisdom. At 17, we put another point in Crusader, or level in Crusader. And for the feat at 17, we're going to go ahead and pick up Superior Summoning. So our summons are already more powerful, and now they're going to be more numerous as well. So we're just kind of leaning into this as we now have a couple of summon spells that we can kind of stack. All right, level 18, we're going to go ahead and get another level in Crusader. And here for the bonus Crusader feat, we're going to get Weapon Specialization Rapier. At level 19, we're getting another level in Crusader. And at level 19, we're going to go ahead and pick up Piranha Strike finally. Now, this will let you kind of push your damage from her quite a bit higher. Now, if you're struggling, for example, to hit still for whatever reason, depending on what weapons you have, for example, you could choose to get something different. For example, Improved Critical is going to be a nice option because rapiers, they're going to be able to crit real nice. Unless you have a rapier with Keen on it. Do note that this Improved Critical does not stack with other effects like Keen. So be careful of that depending on what weapon you use. Again, I'm going to select Piranha Strike here, but feel free to use Improved Critical. If neither of these are something that interests you, Warrior Priest is never bad. This is going to increase 1 initiative and +2 bonus on concentration checks. Again, because you're a melee kind of caster, you're going to be frontline caster and healer. This can definitely come in handy. So that's your third option here. Warrior Priest is not bad. And finally, level 20, we're going to get one last level of Crusader. We're going to continue and finish off bumping our Wisdom up. All right, when it comes to Mythic level progression, you can see right now on screen the full 10 level of options that I have chosen. But as with the previous section, we will go ahead and go through them one by one and explain what they are, why we're choosing them. So make sure to jump to whichever section suits you most right now. All right, at Mythic level 1, we are going to pick up Abundant Casting. This is just a no-brainer. 4 extra spells, so first, second, and third levels. You're getting this early in the game. This is going to be a significant buff to your casting. At Mythic level 2, we're actually going to go extra Mythic ability. And we're going to go and we're going to pick up the Mythical Beast. So this is going to buff our companion pet / mount, give it extra strength, dex, constitution, and also makes their attacks ignore damage reduction except n/dash. So it makes your Smilodon quite potent, DPS-wise. Mythic level 3, and we're picking up Boundless Healing. So this is really, really good. It's going to basically give your healing spells reach automatically, which is amazing. And you're going to just, across the board, going to be healing 4 more. So this is, for a healer, just absolutely phenomenal. In Mythic level 4, we're yet again going to take an extra Mythic ability instead of a Mythic feat. And this time, what we're going to choose is over here, we're going to get Impossible Domain. And the domain that we want to do is actually going to be Healing Domain. And the element that we care about is the one that comes from level 6. It's Healer's Blessing. And it's going to basically make sure all your cure spells, they're treated as if they're empowered. So the amount of healing you're going to be doing is basically plus 50%. And considering that you're already going to be casting cure spells a lot, this is just across the board a huge buff. At Mythic level 5, we're going to go ahead and get Improved Abundant Casting. So now it's going to give you 4 more casts of all your 4th, 5th, and 6th level tiers of spells. So again, another no-brainer. Mythic level 6, and we're going to dip into another extra mythic ability. And this time we're picking up Ascendant Summons. So all your summons now get bonuses to Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Wisdom, Charisma, equal to half your mythic rank +1. And their attacks now ignore damage reduction except N/dash. So again, all these kind of undead summons you're bringing out, they are going to be much, much more effective now. Mythic level 7, and we're going to buff your melee capacity some more. So now we're going to pick up Thundering Blows because you are going to be missing. You're going to be attacking a good amount. And so once per round, you'll be able to basically proc an AoE sonic damage ability. So very, very potent. At Mythic level 8, we're going to pick up Weapon Focus Mythic Rapier. Up that melee damage some more. At Mythic level 9, we're actually going to pick up Inspirational Leader. This is a decent character to pick this up. A lot of other characters that are pure DPS, for example, may want to stick to just pure DPS feats and abilities. But here, this is nice because you're going to basically impact everybody else in the group, give them increased initiative, saving throws against mind-affecting effects, and concentration checks. So this can be quite helpful. And finally, in Mythic level 10, we're going to go ahead and pick up Weapon Specialization Mythic Rapier to kind of complete your rapier training and maximizing the damage you do with them. Now finally, we're going to level up the Animal Companion. And as before, you can take a look at the spreadsheet on the screen right now for leveling up the companion. You can check back and reference this timestamp whenever you need to. And now we will go ahead and take a look at the level by level progression for the companion pet. So we're going to get to pick a class for this Animal Companion. And we're going to go ahead and pick Daredevil. Big thing here is to kind of maximize its survivability. Loving the fact that we get evasion of this. We also, at higher level, get improved evasion. The other elements aren't bad. Obviously, Devil May Care, which is a hilarious name. You cannot be flanked at 9th level. Also, combat mobility added for free is not bad. And this level 1 ability isn't as big, but you get a competence bonus on mobility checks, half your hit dice. So very nice for kind of staying alive, because you as a rider are not going to be picking up feats to help protect the pet companion. Basically, he has to protect himself. Now, for your skill points, you're going to be basically at every level putting 1 point in athletics and 1 into mobility. This is going to remain the same throughout. So again, I'm not going to be emphasizing this, but just do note you're going to be pumping these at each level. Now you're going to go ahead and pick up Armor Proficiency Light Barding. This is armor for pets, and they're actually quite effective. And there's some really nice benefits to these. So we're going to pick that up right away. Level 2 is just a normal level with a normal skill progression. At level 3, we get Evasion for free. And for the feat, we're going to go ahead and pick up Dodge to give an extra AC that's going to help with survival early on. Then at level 4, we're going to go ahead and pump its intelligence to 3. This is so that we can give it basically the outflank feat coming up here. Then we have level 5. And at level 5, we're going to pick up Armor Proficiency Medium Bardings. This is as heavy as we're going to go. You're still going to get a decent amount of your Dexterity bonus to AC, but you're going to get a great amount of AC from the armor and then some special magical effects as well. Then we have level 6, and at level 6, we're going to get Combat Mobility for free. At level 7, we're going to get to pick a feat. And for the feat, we're going to pick Outflank. So this is going to help you flank alongside your rider at higher levels when Camellia picks it, and also anybody else that happens to have Outflank in your party. Now, at level 8, we're going to get another stat point. And now, at this point, I recommend pumping Strength. At level 9, we're going to get Devil May Care again, so you can no longer be flanked, and we're going to get a feat. And then for the feat, we will go ahead and pick up Power Attack to, again, up the damage we can do. Level 10 is now a basic level with no special elements. Then we have level 11 when we get another feat. And here we will go ahead and pick up Weapon Focus Claw. Again, just aiming to up the DPS quite a bit. Then we have level 12, and here the main thing is we're going to get a stat point. And again, we're going to continue pumping Strength. At level 13, we're going to get another feat. And here again, leaning into doing more damage, we're going to pick up Improved Critical Claw. Remember, you get 4 claw attacks, so this can be quite an effective feat. Level 14 is going to be quite straightforward. At level 15, we're going to finally get Improved Evasion and also an additional feat. And for the level 15 feat, I'll go ahead and pick up Lightning Reflexes. Increases our reflex save by 2. Again, helps in avoiding traps and AoE attacks. At level 16, the main benefit is, again, another stat point, and again, we're pumping strength. Level 17, and at 17, we're going to get an extra feat. And here we'll go ahead and pick Iron Will to shore up some of those will saving throws. Level 18, and this one has standard progression. And at level 19, we get our final feat. And for the feat, we'll go ahead and pick up Improved Lightning Reflexes again for dodging those AoE attacks. You can, of course, choose Improved Iron Will if you're having trouble with those saves. But again, I will go ahead and choose Improved Lightning Reflexes here. And finally, we have level 20. And the big thing here is we get a stat point. And we will go ahead and bump Constitution just so this will end up being even. Otherwise, your strength score will just end up being odd and not really benefiting you at all. So we will go ahead and bump Constitution. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the spell book. Now remember, depending what level you are, you're going to have, and what stats you have at the given time, you're going to have various amounts of these spells that you can memorize. So we're not focusing on how many of spells that you're going to memorize. More likely than that, just what spells you want to memorize. Now do note that you're going to sometimes have some of these. Now do note that you're going to have one spell slot that's going to be kind of predetermined. And it's going to have to do with your School of Magic specialty. So here you don't get a choice. It's only Enlarged Person. We're mainly talking about the other spells. And at level 1, your best investment is just Cure Light Wounds. More often than not, you get a bunch of healing started, especially as these will be buffed with a bunch of different feats. Now, do note that we are looking at first the Shaman spellbook, but we will also have a separate Cleric spellbook for level 1. For Shaman, since we only took 2 levels in Shaman, we only had those level 1 spells, but we're going to have additional spells at level 1 from the Cleric, and there's going to be quite a few of them. And again, the choice is the same. We want to maximize Cure Light Wounds in this case. For rank 2 spells, Cure Moderate Wounds is the go-to. Now, sometimes I can get some extra restoration, lesser restoration. Now, sometimes I like to also get some extra lesser restoration because you're going to be dealing with so many monsters that lower your ability scores constantly that it can be a real nuisance. So if you're running into that quite a bit and you don't want to be resting all the time, you can also throw this into your rotation. Now, early in the game, you may also get Bull Strength for any of your strength-based characters to get this enhancement bonus. Eventually, you're going to have effects that will be incompatible with this, but at the beginning, you can always memorize Bull Strength. Rank 3, there's going to be 2 spells I really like. I love Cure Serious Wounds, obviously, and the other spell that's going to be a favorite here is Animate Dead. Remember, you are going to be getting tons of buffs for this. So it is going to be a staple of your casting. Anytime you have harder encounters, you spam one of these, and you're gonna, later on, gonna have like 6 skeletons popping out and tanking for you guys, and also doing some damage. Now, level 4, you have some really good options here. You're gonna have Cure Critical Wounds, which is going to be a critical spell for you. Additionally, as we saw earlier, as I mentioned, additionally, Restoration is also a decent spell to have ready to deal with all the ability debuffs you're going to have. It is optional. Some people choose to just rest. Do note that it does take some Diamond Dust. You're going to be actually getting a lot of Diamond Dust if you kind of loot everything as you play. But do note this can help you in a pinch. And then the other spell that's really useful is Divine Power, because this is going to buff your DPS capacity. It's whenever you're fighting some tougher monsters, you can bust this out. It does scale as you level up. It's going to up your attack, your weapon damage. You're not going to really care about the strength checks because your strength is low, but what you care about here is those two stats, and also whenever you do full attacks, you're going to get an additional attack at your full base attack bonus. So that is huge. That's, it's haste equivalent. So divine power, really, really good. Now level 5 spells, and you got a couple good options. You are going to get, for AoE healing, Cure Light Wounds Mass. Because you buff all your Cure Light Wounds spells so much, this actually is not bad at all. This is also the first level you can actually raise your own dead party members. So if you're not big on reloading when your characters die, this is a nice way to get them back up. And then the other spell I love is Angelic Aspect. This is going to give you damage resistance, and you're going to get an additional deflection bonus to AC and resistance bonus saves against attacks made or effects created by evil creatures, which is like everybody going to be facing this game. So that's really, really nice. And finally, the fact that your weapon's going to be good aligned for purpose of overcoming damage reduction it's a nice little bonus. Rank 6 spells, also quite potent. A lot of decent options. Cure Moderate Wound Mass. Again, nice AoE heal that you're going to be able to really maximize. That's a great choice. And then for single target healing, you're going to have just a straight up heal spell. And again, you're going to get to use your domain slot, but you can also put it in your other slots as well. So I would just say fill this with your AoE and single target healing, even though there are a lot of other decent options here. Inspiring Recovery is also not bad, but I know me, I keep it simple across heal and Cure Moderate Wound Mass. For level 7, the Greater Restoration, I just stick to the one that you basically throw in domain slots. For the main spells, it's going to be a combination of Cure Serious Wounds Mass with an option of Resurrection. So this, again, you need 2 diamonds, but it's basically like a complete res. Everything, you're just back to 100% everything. Alternatively, if you want to really lean into any of the summoning, since you have really powerful summons, so you can get Summon Monster 7, for example, and then pick any other ones where you basically summon multiple enemies to kind of maximize and get extra of those monsters. Level 8 spells, and again, you're going to, for your domain slot, get Summon Nature's Ally 8. Again, remember, you have some amazing summon buffs, so that's a great spell to have. And then for the other spell here, you have a choice. Cure Critical Wound Mass is very, very powerful AoE heal. You can also get Greater Angelic Aspect, which is a more powerful, crazy buff for yourself. Or if you want to help the whole group, you can do Holy Aura. It doesn't last as long, but it's going to give a nice a deflection bonus to AC and resistance bonus on saves, as well as spell resists against evil creatures, which is, again, everything you're going to be facing in this game. You have a couple options. Again, you're not going to get many of these, most likely just 1, maybe 2. So, pick carefully. And then finally, level 9 spells. For your domain spell, you're going to pick up Heal Mass, and you're unlikely to have any extra spells, but if you end up somehow getting them through gear, etc., get your stats buffed up, you could get Summon Monster 9, for example, would be a good option. All right, finally, let's take a look at some gear examples. Now, your gear is going to depend on what you find, what you buy. Some of the best gear in the game you can buy off vendors, but it's all very expensive. But here are a couple of things that I recommend picking up. Early on, get lockpicks kits. You can get level 1 rather early, and then you're going to find level 2 ones later on, and so forth. So this buffs your trickery skill, which is great. For a weapon, get the best possible rapier. Once you get to the Abyss, this is the one I recommend getting. It's very expensive, but it's enhancement +5, keen. So look at that. The crit range is 15 to 20 for 2 times crit. Insane. And you get a +2 bonus to attacks and damage on attacks of opportunity. And if you happen to kill somebody with that blow, you get an extra attack during the next round. So this is a really, really nice one you can just straight up buy in the Abyss. but there's other great rapiers as well. There's not as many options for bucklers, but here's a +3 one that I got. And again, what I like about this, it gives you +5 bonus to AC against ranged touch attacks. For bracers, I like these right here, and this is where that level 1 and 1 level in Slayer helps out too. So whenever the target, the bracer hits their study target, remember, you can only have one study target at a time, but as soon as the target dies, you can get a new one. So the first time you hit them, they must pass a fortitude save throw of DC 24 or become blinded for 3 rounds. So that's a nice one to get. If you don't have this one or at earlier levels, you can get something like the Bracers of Abrupt Onslaught. They're going to increase your competency bonus for trickery skills, which is huge for you. So, and then the sneak attack isn't really going to play a role for you, but mainly the trickery skill check is nice. Then again, you can't go wrong with a Ring of Protection, the highest level that you can spare. The other ring is kind of up to you. I have this one that gives a +4 will save against will saving throws bonus and immunity to mind affecting conditions, which is really nice. You don't want your basically healer getting mind controlled, so this is quite helpful. For cloak, just I would say go with the highest rank cloak of resistance you can spare for the character. For the headband, I recommend something that buffs wisdom. You can get something that buffs wisdom and charisma. That'd be great as well because that's going to give you extra channeling. You can't mess over amulet, so no options there. Now for your armor piece, I would say pick whatever armor piece you can get that has high AC for a medium armor specifically. That also lets you save your get as much of your dexterity bonus to AC still. You could also go something light like a high like +4 chain shirt. You don't have anything special or fancy. You can go with like a mithril breastplate. This one is really nice because it's medium, 9 AC, and it gives you up to 5 bonus from your dexterity. So this is a really good one. Or again, anything that you have that's going to be a combination of high AC while giving as much max dexterity bonus that's allowed as possible. For shirts / robes, these are kind of optional. I happen to have the silver robe. +1, a bonus to all saving throws against fear effects. So, just there, but it's optional most of the time. For a belt, I just picked up a belt of incredible dexterity. So the idea here is this is going to help with your hit and damage with your rapier. You can also get one that combos of Constitution to give you more survivability and to make concentration checks. So if you have that to spare, that's really good. And for gloves and boots, this is going to just depend on what you have again. A lot of the boots that are good, they're going to kind of minimize your movement impairing effects that you take. You're going to be on your mount a lot, so that may not always help out. And then gloves, again, I don't have anything in particular currently for her, but if you happen to get some nice gloves that buff any of your main stats or skills, that's what you're going to pick there. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this companion build. If you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, smash that notification bell to be notified when new videos come out. I'm always learning and I'm always trying to make my videos better, so please leave recommendations and comments below of how you would like for me to improve potentially, and also let me know which character you would like for me to make a companion build video for next. Alright guys, with that all being said, thank you again for all the support, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next video.